Hey guys, it's KJM, and I'm not even gonna bother telling you guys what time it is because you guys know that it's Sunday, and that's generally when I drop most of my New Year, new movie, Hallmark movie reviews. Last night at 8 p.m., Love and Jane, starring Allison Sweeney and Benjamin Ayers, premiered. Now, y'all remember after paging Mr. Darcy, I really thought I'm gonna be bored to tears in Lovey-Worry. I just didn't think that was a good movie, even though I loved the two leads. Megan loved it, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't hear her say she's saving it on her DVR. So she loved it because she's a huge Jane Austen fan, but I don't know if it was like one of those I'm gonna be rewatching it a million times. But baby, Love and Jane, oh my goodness, it took a classical theme and gave it a modern twist in just the most magnificent way. I always think that Allison Sweeney is brilliant since her Days of Our Lives debut in the soap opera industry. And I didn't realize that Benjamin also, I think, was on Days, and this is one of their reunions on the set. Huge fan of Benjamin as well. Okay, so let's get into this whole theme. Okay, give me a second because there's more to be seen here. Okay, baby, let's take you to where we're at. So before I get into the premise of this whole entire movie, let's get into the cast. I already talked about Allison and Benjamin. Let's talk about the young lady that played Jane Austen in Love and Jane. Okay, shout out to Kendra Anderson. She did just like a magnificent job, I think, playing Jane Austen and really showing how such a classical twist can be applied to modern day life, and not just love, but life in general. I know you guys are chomping at the bits. If you didn't watch this, you really want to know where I'm going with this. But this is one of those times where the supporting cast is super important, and I want to be able to make sure that I highlight them. Also, shout out to Adil Dasani. I don't think I said that right, but she played Alicia, and she added such great elements to this movie. I'm going to get into what happens with Jane, what happens with Alicia. Let's go back. Okay, so in the premise of this movie, we see opening scene. Lily has fallen asleep while reading a Jane Austen book, and she's late, for the book club that she runs every Sunday night at 7 p.m. That meeting is held in a local pub that doesn't charge her anything, and she can join together with her fellow Jane Austen lovers. Now, what I loved about the book club is that there were men in the club, and one of them was a truck driver. And he said the audio read while he drives really made him fall in love with Jane Austen. So I love the diversity of the group, and the fact that an 1800 book or twist on the 1800s could still be intriguing to modern day people. Like I said, I'm not a huge Jane Austen fan, but I don't hate her. And this movie actually brought up other books like Emma that Jane Austen has written. Now, I've only read Pride and Prejudice and I think Sense and Sensibility, but I read them like in high school. And I just remember thinking, it was just okay. Maybe if I reread them as an adult, I would feel differently, but I don't know, Hallmark, I'm teetering and tottering. But what I loved about this movie is the diversity of the cast, the diversity of the people that were either been in love with Jane Austen for decades or just discovering her. Or in the case of Trevor, Benjamin's character, rediscovering Jane by looking through the eyes of Lily. Okay, so y'all want to know exactly what happened in this. Okay, let me start off by saying, when I saw the previews for this movie, I really thought that this movie was just going to be about Jane Austen helping Lily find love. Well, it turns out Jane Austen helps Lily find direction in her life, not just in love, but in friendship, in work, in finding her purpose. and ultimately in finding the man that is right for her. So couple scenes in, we see that Lily is a copywriter for an ad agency. She's not too thrilled about the job, but she's got to pay the bills. We also know she's written her own manuscript, and 7 years ago she got some big writing award in Boston, but hasn't really published anything since or done too much to show her manuscript to anyone. So it seems like Lily has just lost her way business-wise. But on a personal tip, she's dating a guy named Martin, and we see that he takes her out for dinner. He tells her that he got a big promotion, but he's got to move from Boston to Chicago. Shout out to the Chi. I love Chicago, okay? I love, especially Magnificent Mile. Oh my God, I love Chicago. Anyway, so going back to the story. So he has to move from Boston to Chicago, and he wants to take Lily with him. And so he does what I guess most good men would do, and he proposes, but he proposes in such an unromantic way. And Lily is like, I don't want you to rescue me from my life, which is funny because I think 10 years ago I would have said that. At this point, rescue me, because Jane Austen is not coming to visit me and I still need some sense of direction. I feel like I'm finally on my way in 2024, but baby, rescue me, but also rescue me with a bit of romance, okay, Martin? With a bit of romance. So Lily appreciates Martin's proposal. They've been dating, but she just doesn't love him like that, which is like, why would you date somebody that you don't love like that? But okay. And she's really realizing that he probably just proposed so that she could understand that this is the next step for them, and that she could up and leave the job at the ad agency that she doesn't really like that much. And he reminds her, you haven't even been writing. So what's the purpose of staying in Boston? And Lily says the thing that I am so happy she said. She says she does not want someone to come in and rescue her from her life. She's got to figure it out for herself. And that's where this character is in life. Okay, I've been trying to figure it out now. Beyonce told us to get in formation in 2015. And Beyonce, I'm sorry, I'm on your internet saying I still have not gotten myself into formation. But baby, every day I wake up and I still try. Okay? So Lily turns down the proposal, and she's just like, no, this is not going to be right for me, and I'm not moving to Chicago. Whatever I need is right here in Boston. And that was that. We see Martin resurface, and he tries to get her to reconsider, but Lily is dead set that she needs to figure out her life for herself, and she doesn't need rescuing. But I think the biggest theme is she's not in love with him like that. So one night, Lily is up reading Jane Austen, and what does she do? She falls asleep, but right before she falls asleep, she wishes that Jane Austen could just appear and help her with her life, help her give her direction. And what I love about this is people always talk about Jane Austen being this great romance author, but what this character Jane does is really gets Lily all the way together and gets her to believe in herself again, in her personal life, in her professional life, in the friendships that she's had. That's what this character does. And let me tell you, like, I loved it. I watched Lily and Jane become basically besties and develop this very good friendship, this sisterhood. And this sisterhood guides Lily throughout her life. Okay, if I haven't said this, I'm giving Love and Jane a 9 out of 10, which I'm surprised. I told you guys I'm starting all the Jane Austen movies off at a 7, meaning at least tune into it if you have time. So I'm super surprised that I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10, but I thought it was so good. I still have it on my DVR. I do plan on rewatching. And I love Benjamin and Allison, and Kendra did a fabulous job. I'm going to need a part 2 for this review because there's so much more I want to cover. But Love and Jane, Hallmark, more of this. More of taking the brilliance of Jane Austen and bringing it to life into modern 2024 and showing us how it all can still apply in love and profession and family and friendship. Okay, so stay tuned for the part 2. I'm giving this movie once again a 9 out of 10. I'm super shocked, but I'm so happy because there's very few things that Alison Sweeney does that I don't like. So I was so happy to send Megan a text and say I'm halfway through the movie and I'm loving it. And I fell in love with it more and more as it went on. So shout out to the writers of Love and Jane. All right, see you in part 2.